Great camera work from our eye in the sky there.
Yeah, doing very well in the copter cam.
And they close right up in the complex to the back of the leader, Dean Thomas, on the Ducati. Leader on the road, Dean Thomas on the Ducati.
Yeah, down in something like, what, 7th, 8th place at the moment behind John McGuinness in corrected time. Through Woodcote corner.
That's not a bad ride from McGuinness, is it? Not bad at all.
McGuinness has been riding good on the 600 all the way through. So, and bearing in mind he was puffing a bit after the 250, but he jumped straight off the 250, straight onto the 600. That's a hell of a task, and he had to swap from a 250 two-stroke to a 600cc four-stroke with road tyres on.
Yeah.
Not slick.
Oh, take
Jeff
that.
Moody. Well, that is a Moody I know and love.
Yeah, absolutely.
There he went then, Mr. Aggression himself. Stitch that, Jimmy.
It's amazing, isn't it, Keith? It can be like this on a short circuit, yet such a controlled rider on the Isle of Man. And the roads...
Look at Dean Thomas lining himself up. That Ducati looks pretty quick. Down
right there.
into the left-hander, but Moody toughs it out. Moody holds the line. Doesn't shut the door on Dean Thomas. Gives him enough room to hang himself. Dean Thomas has
That's
to
nice of you, Jim.
Wide. Still Kurt McCarthy in third. Let's take another look at it then. So through we go. It is Jim Moody up the inside after Maggots corner. He kept the momentum up. Straight through at Maggots. That's a great move. Straight through to Beckett's.
Craftsman at work there, Keith. Lovely to watch.
Talking about Craftsman. Jim Moody, B&M Yamaha, Pirelli shod motorcycle. And I wonder whether Jim Moody just relaxed the pace a little bit as this race moved on. Tactically, Jim Moody, there is no sharper man than Jim Moody. He's extremely astute.
Is that tyre conservation you're referring to?
Well, I feel that Jim Moody will have just... He didn't manage to make a break like he did at Snetterton. At Snetterton, he made a break and then controlled the lead. This time round, he wasn't able to make a break. The Ducati man, Dean Thomas, caught him on the road, although not on aggregate time, of course, after copping 10-second penalty. Kurt McCarthy, I just don't think he's quite in the same race as Moody at the moment. The Yamaha and the Pirelli shod Yamaha just seem to be a fraction better than the Castrol Honda at this moment in time.
That's running on Michelin's, I take it.
It is running on... Is it running on what?
Is it on Michelin's, like every other Castrol Honda in the world?
No, I don't think so.
They're on Dunlops, are they?
Well, actually, I can't answer that definitively.
Oh, God, yes, that's something I should have marked down, isn't it?
I mean, I think they're on Dunlops, but...
Whoops. Sorry, folks. We'll
check that out.
Sort that one out.
The men from Birmingham will be here stringing up our commentary team.
Yes. If it goes quiet, you'll know that Fort Dunlop's been in.
Through the right-hander then. Looking down on the top four, Glenn Richards is the poorer of the four at the moment. On bike number 5, the Sanyal First National Honda. But leading the B&M Yamaha, 21, Jim Moody from 6th, the D&E Ducati of Dean Thomas. And then challenging and making me raise my voice, Kirk McCarthy, who is second in the series and second in this race if you discount Dean Thomas, because he has that 10-second penalty. Sorry to harp on about that, but it confuses us very slightly here. There is Glenn Richards, Mick Grant, the team manager, Russell Savory, the team tuner. They are partners in the Sanyo First National Honda team.
I thought you were going to say partners in crime there for a minute, Keith. That was
there you go. Same thing. They refer quite often to... no, I won't say it, Russ, you're all right. I'll let you off the hook this time round, but keep away from the pies. We're on lap 16 of the 20. Jim Moody is in control, slightly. Kurt McCarthy is second in the race, despite the fact he's got Dean Thomas in front of him. Moody, McCarthy, Richards, Thomas. That was how they crossed the line last time round. Thomas has moved up to 4th place in the race.
Just to get it right, McCarthy is on Dunlops, Keith.
Thank you. I thought he was, and I didn't want to do a disservice to Michelin. Dunlop, great providers of tyres here in Great Britain, and really Dunlops, well, they work so well.
Yes, apologies for that one. I was having a sort of a World Championship flashback there.
A lot of support for British racers, a lot of support for British teams from Dunlop. But Jim Moody
and Dean Thomas
on Pirellis.
Dean Thomas, of course, on Dunlops as well on that Ducati. Let's not forget.
I knew that because of Scotty.
Yes, indeedy. Scotty's got Dunlop printed on his forehead at the moment.
Scott Smart, that is. Scott Smart is down in, 7th place. He's been retaken by Dean Thomas in corrected time. Dean Thomas, despite the fact he's in 2nd place on bike number 6, he has a 10-second penalty. And due to the fact that these guys are pulling away from the lower leaderboard men, it means that Dean Thomas is moving up the leaderboard remarkably. It seems almost a surreal experience, but he is. He's
in 4th on corrected at the moment.
Now, number 15 coming into view. That is Andrew Jackson from Preston.
Number 61 also there. That is Mark Laws from Malden.
In Essex, boy.
Hey.
Good on you.
No.
Oh, Moody cuts his way, I'll tell you what.
Ouch, and so does Thomas.
Never meet Moody in a dark alley at night.
McCarthy, he does make it though. I thought he was going to get boxed in for a minute.
Yeah, well, there's another man I was just about to say don't meet in the dark alley either, Kurt McCarthy.
And this is
Dean Thomas casts a slightly larger shadow, so you might see him coming.
I think he's a bit angry as well, Mr.
3
Thomas.
laps to go, well, he will be, about this penalty. Slides under Moody. Moody wiped his nose with it last time. Not this time, though. Dino's gone through. That's
nice
comes Moody over the curb and forces Dean Thomas out wide.
Lovely.
And up onto the curb.
McCarthy like that.
That's what happens when you take on a Glaswegian in a move.
That's it. And Kirk McCarthy like that, because that closed him right up to the front two again.
I'll tell you what, there's a few people holding their breath in pit lane. I saw them looking at their monitors. Miriam.
Mrs. Moody?
Yes, indeed, the partner to Jim, keeping an eye on what's going on here. And Michael here as well, of course, Jim's son, who was racing in the will be racing in the 125 race.
Really?
Indeed,
I didn't know that.
He qualified on the front row of the grid back at Thruxton, so Michael got to show a bit more form, though. He's not been able to match that form lately. Jim, very hard taskmaster on his son, I've got to say. It's not that he pushes him hard, but certainly Jim Moody has a very distinct way of going about his business.
Yeah, if you're going to do it properly.
Oh, and through goes McCarthy. McCarthy's gone through on Dean Thomas. Nice move there from Kirk. So Captain Kirk beams himself in front of Dean Thomas.
Moody's beamed himself.
Look at Dean Thomas. That's Ducati having a bit of a go back. McCarthy taking no nonsense at maggots. Great pictures from the copter.
Really see it, don't you? You really see where these guys are putting themselves on the track, really for the next corner or the next combination of corners for an advantage, 10-20 seconds down the track.
This is an enthralling race,
Wonderful.
It really has been a tactical race. Oh, and Dean Thomas again trying to power that Ducati up the inside of curve. Oh, and grabs it on the brakes. Good stuff there. And McCarthy comes back, lets the brakes off. Will he run wide and let Dino underneath him? This is where the Ducati winds its wick up. He's in the slipstream of Kirk McCarthy. Superb passing positions here.
Yamaha, Honda, Ducati. What more do you want?
Well, the two Aussies really going at it, hammer and tong. Now, it's letting Jim Moody, the race leader, off the hook slightly here, as long as they keep tripping each other up behind. Now then, it is on the road. Moody leads from McCarthy. Glenn Richards is in third place, but Dean Thomas is up to fourth place, despite the fact he is third on the road. He has made his way. These three are moving at such a rate of knots around this Silverstone racetrack that even though he's in third place on the leaderboard now, he's moved his way right up through 8th place, through 7th place, through 6th place, because the rest of the leaderboard are dropping so far behind these guys.
That's because Dean Thomas, number 6, has a 10-second penalty. McCarthy's right in the...
Yeah, McCarthy was right on the wheel there. Oh, Jim Moody is bound to
got him.
McCarthy's so good on the brakes,
isn't he? And Thomas comes to give Moody trouble as well. Squeeze!
Corner, and that's a fast old right-hander. Now we got Maggots corner. Jim Moody will get his breath back at that one. This is Maggots. Then we're into the braking area.
You're right about McCarthy. You're right about McCarthy on the brakes, Keith.
This is Beckett's corner. Now Jim won't panic. He'll line this up. We're on lap 19 of the 20. I'll tell you what, Kirk McCarthy might have just, to use one of your phrases, he might have just pulled the pin here. He might have known he was a load faster than the men that were in front of him. And Kirk McCarthy, that really is, that's a race-winning lead.
Yeah, that was you could see him building to that.
I'd be surprised if even Jim Moody can come back from that one.
You've got a wonderful shot of him right up the rear end of Jim Moody's Yamaha. Frightening shot, and pop, out he came, took the lead. And you're right, Keith, he has made his break for home.
Right, let's see if Jim Moody can recover from that then. Jim Moody needs to get his breath back here, needs to gain his composure. He has just over 3 miles to go around this Silverstone racetrack before the checker flag is hung out on the line. This is Kirk McCarthy on bike 16, the Castrol Honda. This will be revenge indeed for the Castrol Honda team. Roger Harvey is going to be a very happy man indeed if his man finishes first and closes down the championship lead on Jim Moody. There's McCarthy's team at the top of your picture. That's Miriam Moody in the bottom of your picture that's Michael Moody that's hanging the board out. That's the son of Jim holding the board out. Right, can he do it? We're on the last lap now. Jim Moody is after 16 Kirk McCarthy.
Wonderful Supersport race. It so often is a good race. The bike's so evenly matched. 3 riders who could go to World Championship Supersport here at the front. Moody.
Jim's looking.
He's having a think. Dean Thomas appears to have no choice in the matter. He will now be third place on the road. He can argue about his 10-second penalty when he gets back to pit lane. Is Moody close enough? Has McCarthy got it under control? This is a great break from
He has at the moment, but you watch Jim Moody here. He's very, very good into this section of the turn. We saw him see up Dean Thomas a little bit earlier on. He's going to close down, but McCarthy again, proving just how good he is on the brakes. As far as I'm concerned, unless Kurt makes a mistake, it's his for the taking. Jim Moody is going to finish second on 20 points. Kurt McCarthy has done absolutely everything right here. I really don't believe